3, 2, 1, go! We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 12th episode of the Film Studies Club podcast.
12.
I am your lead host, dude, Robert Burke, and I'm joined by my vice host,
Pahol Chabra. Yeah.
And fact checker.
Do you have to laugh?
Fact checker, dude, Nicholas Manna.
Oh yeah.
And today we have a very special guest. I'm sure it's the reason that 95% of you are on this, listening to this right now. Marco Rusu.
Woo.
I just realized. Hold on.
What? What's wrong, man?
Seriously, do I have to yell again?
Something felt wrong.
Oh my
I just
God.
knew it.
Why?
So I have to yell again?
No. This will be part of the podcast. This will be part of the podcast. Don't worry.
How are we gonna make this part of the podcast?
Okay, so, I'm very excited about the podcast episode this week, Marco. So what we like to do every time we have a guest is that each one of us asks this guest a question that we come up with on the spot.
Okay.
So Paul's gonna go first on this one.
To you. We're really gonna. You sure you don't want to start over?
No. This is great. I love this.
We should start over?
We should definitely start over.
No.
I vote to start over.
Okay. If you want to start over, raise your hand. That's 2. Raise your hand if you don't want to.
You have host. No, you have host power. You have host veto. Are you serious?
Yo, there's no way we can continue.
I got some of my gum.
There's no way we can continue with your
I thought
money
you
to the
swallowed
Dr.
that.
Ian.
I did. Keep going. Ian said keep going.
Ian,
get back to your room. Forrest. Well, I'm sure that it's been in the red for like the entire episode so far.
Yo,
The red doesn't.
how do we even keep going? You just straight up walked out of the podcast to get Ian. you understand that,
It was
right?
fun. Okay, so Paul, ask Marco a question.
How's your day been?
You ask that every single time.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I asked Willa what her middle name was.
There's such boring
What's
questions.
your middle name?
Alexander.
Bro.
You what about your day?
What about
No,
my
that would be my question. What is your favorite episode of a TV show?
favorite episode of a TV show? Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It was season 6, episode 4.
Episode 4. What happens in that and what happens there?
I'm pretty sure that was the one with Clone Trooper Top. All that. What's the curse word I can use? Douchebag stuff.
And Nick, what's your question for Marco?
If you were to start a YouTube series that had to be dramatic, what would it be on?
Rap drama. Florida rap drama.
Why
I would so watch
Dude,
that.
Florida people, they go crazy. You don't even.
They go crazy.
They go crazy.
Florida people are nuts. Okay, how do we transition?
We talk about
Wiggle woo.
I like that.
Nick always does the transition sound effect. Anyway, so today we are talking about some stand-up comedy specials. Now, 2 of these were chosen. What?
Nothing. They're laughing.
He's right. Two of them were chosen by me, and 2 of them were chosen by Paul.
Yeah, who chose who? Because I'm trying to know that.
I think you should guess, Marco.
Okay.
Guess who chose who? What?
You chose Dave Chappelle,
True that.
and you also chose. What were the other ones? I already forgot him.
The podcast man, what's his name?
Joe Rogan. You chose Joe Rogan.
Yes, I did.
There we go.
And I chose the other.
The other
Good
ones
job.
I've never heard of.
Good job.
Yeah, they're.
I never heard of John Mulaney.
I mean, I've heard John Mulaney, dude. I loved him on. Like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I had really high hopes for him going in, but like, he's SNL. I must admit, my guilty pleasure is SNL. I do watch a little bit of SNL every now and then. And he did pretty good. He did pretty good.
Did you know
Liberal.
SNL has won the most amount of Emmys of any TV show ever?
Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah. Because
The dog's free, yo.
I am not showing up on camera. For those listening, which is 99% of the people right now, or 100, my dog just ran by really quickly.
We're optimistic.
He's on crack.
There's something. I think I'm gonna go let her out. You guys keep on talking.
Alright, okay. So,
Marco, turn down the volume, bro.
how's your day? How's your day been?
My day's been real good, actually.
Wait, when did you wake up?
I woke up at 10:30.
Okay.
11, I was out of the house. I was going to brunch.
Brunch.
with,
Where?
Deja Vu, that place. It is terrible. Absolutely.
I like Deja Vu.
It's it's too expensive for the stuff. They
Yeah,
give me.
it's way too expensive.
Like usually I eat like a madman. I eat everything. But no, that stuff filled me up like terribly, and it wasn't in a good way. It wasn't like a satisfying full. It's like I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm just going to implode. It wasn't nice. Okay, I'm about to whip out these curse words because I know I'm gonna use a couple of these.
Douchebag.
Yeah, use
boomer.
Use boomer.
I think, Marco, you know who you remind me of? You remind me of Joe Rogan. You like curse words. You talk really
That was
loudly.
actually in
You're
my notes.
bald.
No. I put it in my notes. Like this dude Loki reminds me of me because of all the stupid stuff you say.
Anyways, I think we should start on that one. So let's start on Joe Rogan's Strange Times. Bahul,
Nice.
what is the plot synopsis of Joe Rogan's Strange Times?
I didn't watch it completely. I kind of.
We were even watching it together.
Yeah, I know, but I was
Yeah,
not
he was
paying
late,
attention.
remember?
Oh, yeah, I
And
do
I was
remember
not
that.
paying attention because I was playing Kart Rider.
Oh, you're playing Kart Rider. Of
Yeah.
course you were.
Plus, it's just. This is going in. Shut up! You can't make fun of people like that.
You do that to me all the time.
Okay, guys.
Damn bastard boomer,
Guys,
hell sex douchebag.
Guys, let's stay a little bit quieter. I think we're reaching the red a lot.
The red doesn't really mean that much on OBS. It's fine. Whatever.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Why?
What did he say?
Kobe.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Add it to the list.
Rest
Yeah.
up.
Woo!
Okay, Paul, carry on.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
gonna
guess
be like
I'll
3 hours long.
Here, I doubt we're gonna talk about the stand-up specials at all. I'll try to read the.
We're so sober.
Okay, here's the letterbox synopsis. Outspoken as ever, comma, comedian Joe Rogan talks
Question.
on politics, comma, pro wrestling, comma, pot laws, comma, cats, comma, vegans, and much more in a stand-up
I hate
special shot in
vegans.
Boston. I'm a
Me too.
vegan.
I hate you.
What is
Yeah.
outspoken?
Outspoken? I think outspoken refers to somebody who's like very like
Me.
Oh,
states
wow,
their
they're,
opinion
they're,
very
they're
loudly.
extroverted, you know.
It's like Joe Rogan who's
John
like
Parker.
"It's
John Parker. Is
That's a very good impression.
God, he looked like a tomato that entire not podcast, what am I saying? That entire stand-up special.
I can't believe people love his podcast so
wanna
much.
sleep
Okay, I've
with
never
him.
listened to his podcast. What's good about it?
Okay, the
Really bad.
interesting thing about his podcast is not Joe Rogan, but the people he has on.
Can I have water?
No, you cannot.
Come on.
It's
I watched
during
one
this
of his
whole
podcasts on mushrooms
coronavirus
and
thing, we
lighting.
can't share water. Did you go on the March for Freedom thing?
Oh, I did the first night. I didn't do the one yesterday. Oh wait, we're not allowed to talk about the
Alright.
protest.
Yeah, I think that's just not super appropriate
I
for this
love
podcast.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, let's start off with my good buddy Nick here. Nick, what did you think of Strange Times, Joe Rogan?
Well, I think he looked like a tomato. I already
Tread
said this.
lightly.
But oh my god, like I don't know. I remember him like get off your
I'm
phone.
looking at my notes.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I would have been
Anyways.
doing that too.
I remember him being extremely sweaty like the entire time. And to be honest, his comedy like wasn't very engaging for me, and because of that, like half the jokes I was thinking about something else, and each of the jokes like none of them really landed.
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney. We'll get to that in later.
yeah,
part,
that's
but-
a little bit later
but-
on.
He does the type of comedy where it's just here's this story and I'm gonna make an example out of it and try to make you laugh, and I kind of hate that because it's so overdone and it never works for me. Anyways, that's my.
That was Nick. You were really stepping up to the
Yeah,
whole
you're
plate.
What can I
shining,
say?
bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was entertaining. Like, here's the thing with stand-up. I never laugh at stand-up. Like,
Yeah.
I think the only
Sometimes I do.
special I've ever laughed at is one that we're going to be talking about later. But, like, I just generally don't laugh at stand-up. I usually just sit and I think it's, like, really entertaining to see, like, somebody, like, in fear of their life on stage as they're trying to make, like, a room of, like, thousands of people laugh that
In
all
fear
have
of their
different
life.
backgrounds and you can't even tell if they're laughing or not. Like, I don't know. It's such a strange art form. But yeah, that's literally the only good thing I have to say about like Joe Rogan's special. I didn't like it that much. Like, I don't know. It felt like, here's the thing. The ones that you chose, both of them were there, like, both of the comedians were offending people, like, all the time. And that was, like,
True.
kind of their thing. And the thing with Dave Chappelle is, like, okay, I don't want to get into the Dave Chappelle
No,
review,
no,
but
but
I'm going to
go
say
ahead,
a little
yeah.
bit. Dave Chappelle is so relaxed with everything he's saying.
Honestly.
Like, he he said some stuff about Michael Jackson I legitimately never thought anybody could say, and he said it so nonchalantly, and he literally like captured that room's attention so well. Yeah. And Joe Rogan, like, he made a bunch of offensive jokes, and they didn't land. Like, they were just there to be offensive, and also I could not stand him screaming the entire episode. He was literally shouting at the top of his lungs.
Sometimes he, like on the podcast, he says that before some specials. I don't know if this is the case for this one, but he does weed or something before.
Didn't he mention on stage that he did weed beforehand?
He did mention that he was.
You wouldn't know you were playing Kart Rider, which is. You should have seen Kart Rider. Nick, what are you doing?
Sorry.
Can you give me water while you're up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Top me up.
What else about Joe Rogan? I thought his parts on vegan cats was really funny. Because, like, I'm a vegan, but I would never have a pet be vegan. Like, that's just so bad for them. Like, that's just so rude.
What if
like,
the pet's
why would you
vegan?
ever do that?
Vegan cat. Sorry.
What?
What if the pet? What if the animal's vegan?
If it's like if it's a bird, you could totally have like a vegan bird, like that kind of stuff. Like that's why vegans usually have like birds. They don't usually have cats and dogs because like they basically need me. And even though PETA has like a website of like dog food that's vegan, it's just not going to be enough. Like no matter what you do, it's just there. Yeah.
I got water. We're chilling.
Yeah. That's all I had to say about Joe Rogan. Pahul. You remember your notes?
No, I didn't memorize them in the end because I was stressed out. And
you have to say you have to have at least have one thing about the stand-up special.
Well, I mean, like you said, dude, dude.
Marco's just trying to be soothing, Paul.
Tell me about Joe Rogan. I know you're really stressed out right now.
You're pulling my leg here.
Hey, you're pulling my leg! Okay, Nick.
Paul, really dark.
One thing about Joe Rogan.
Ooh, let me think. No, genuinely, I will think of something really good.
Marco, do you want to go while Paul was thinking?
No. Okay, so like I we said this earlier. For some reason, he low-key reminds me of me because like our sense of humor is literally we just say the stupidest stuff we can think of, and then we just try to play it off with like some backliner story. And honestly, one of the things which I really like, I mean, I kind of had a feeling for his podcast. He low-key seems kind of smart for all this dumb stuff he was saying. Like, some of his opinions was actually, like, low-key intriguing. I'm going to stop saying low-key, but it was intriguing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't mind it at all. And the political jokes, too, that really struck with me. I don't mind that every now and then.
What were some of the political jokes?
Or something like the...
It was about, like, how if, with, like, the whole Me Too movement, if the genders were swapped, people wouldn't care as much. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Basically.
Are we talking about Joe Rogan?
Yeah, we're talking about Joe Rogan.
Okay, yeah.
Did you think of something constructive?
Okay, well, you know, Joe Rogan yelling offensive things, and just like, it was just basically like if you imagine the stand-up special to be like a string, and the jokes were like little offensive beads on the string, kind of separated by a very loose connection. And what are you doing, Nick?
No, just keep on going. Just keep on going.
Okay. And the thing is that, do I have to speak loud?
No.
You can say that.
It ended up becoming way more of a problem than if you had just said speak louder.
But I thought this would be funnier. Okay, come on.
It's okay, give Pahul more time to think about something constructive to say.
We're going to edit this out, right?
No, we barely edit this.
I used to yell offensive things in Sequoia, you know, like the whole lunch table thing.
You yell offensive things?
Yeah, like a yelling...
Whoa!
Of course. I yelled certain things that I regret now, but it reminded me of that, you know? It's like 8th grade humor, so if I watched this in 8th grade, I feel like I would have a different opinion about it.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, honestly, like, when I saw him on stage, this is weird, but, like, I pictured him in diapers, because all of his comedy was just, like, super immature, and, like, that works to a certain degree, but when that's all you've got, I don't know. And the thing is, I think Joe Rogan's comedy would be hilarious if I was hanging out with him one-on-one. That's why I think you're a very funny guy, Marco. But on
your
stage... Your
stand-up special would suck,
on stage, you need a totally different presence, you know?
Yeah, I can.
It requires something completely different. Yeah, which is just it's interesting how stand-up comedy works. Did you have anything else to say, Marco? We kind of cut you off. No.
Chilling.
Any final thoughts from anyone, or are we ready to score it?
Joe Rogan probably looks like the same he did when he was born.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, because he's all bald and stuff.
He actually looked fairly attractive when he had hair. When he was a UFC commentator.
Wait, pull pictures of Joe Rogan hair.
Hold up, pull that up.
Joe Rogan hair.
A younger, look up Joe Rogan first comedy special.
Look up Joe Rogan hair.
No, you're gonna.
Whoa! He looks like The Rock.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He is fit. He is so fit.
Oh no! Have you seen a video of him kicking a punching bag and the punching bag just kind of falls off?
No, I haven't.
That's dope.
I said he looks like The Rock, even though The Rock is bald.
I like The Rock. The Rock is awesome.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson was once chubby. Don't bend that back. Anyways, okay, let's go around and give scores. Nick, you start off.
I'm gonna give it. Let's go a 5.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
I'm gonna give it 900.
He does SAT scores.
Yeah,
you can do whatever.
SAT, that's so stupid.
You can do whatever scoring system.
I'll give it like a 7 out of 10.
7. Okay. Pahul, I realized I didn't ask you to choose the order. So are you okay if I just keep on going in the order that was already in my head?
What was the order in your head?
Next would be James A. Caster.
Dude.
Okay, here's what I was thinking.
Yeah?
Is that
most funny to least funny? I mean, least funny to most funny?
No, because that's subjective. Humor is subjective in the end. But the thing is that Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle both are offensive, but they're very different. They do it very differently. So what I was thinking is doing Dave Chappelle next.
Well, but at the same time, it might sound like we're repeating ourselves if we're just talking about offensive humor again.
Well,
sure, yeah, go ahead. Let's do James.
Let's do James A. Caster.
Let's do John.
All right. I'll let me look up James A. Caster because I don't know how you describe the plot of
this
stand
guy.
special.
He goes and he stands on his knee, or he sits on his knees, and you're wondering the entire time why he's on his knees.
Offbeat comic James A. Caster covers the stage, the mundane, and everything in between in this collection of 4 wide-ranging stand-up specials. We only watched the first one, which was called Recognize. I will start this one off because I know I'm going to be in the minority on this. But I love James A. Caster. I love his style of comedy because it's so random. The thing is, with stand-up comedians, you need to script out everything and you need to know exactly the amount of pause that you need between everything that you're saying. And to me, that can make certain comedians sound formulaic. I love John Mulaney. I love Dave Chappelle. They can sound formulaic at times because you can tell that they've thought about every single, pause.
Not one thing. When the guy was leaving during the special for
he was probably an actor.
No, okay. The Joe Rogan's a little better. I don't know if that. I mean, Dave Chappelle's a little better. I don't know if that was the best one, but comedy in general, I think can just get stuck in a thing where it doesn't. It's not the same joke, but it sounds the same because they're saying it in the same way, Mm-hmm. And I thought James A. Caster stays away from that really, really well. His whole comedy sounds so sporadic and random, and I understand why for a lot of people that's really annoying because I could see, but I've watched all 4 twice and I love all of them. And he just has the craziest stories in there that just make no sense. And he's a very British. I think he's British, right?
Yeah, he's British.
He sounded British. Could be Australian. Who knows?
Yeah, I think he's British, but it's also very British because it's very dry humor, and I don't know. I like British humor more than I do American humor most of the time because I'm a pretentious douchebag. But I don't know. I really I like James A. Caster. The last thing I want to say, you guys remember Jack Lopritch?
Yeah.
Dude's British, Jack Lopritch.
Dude, that makes sense.
Yeah. Don't they look the same?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, Paul Hull, what are your thoughts on James A. Caster? Repertoire Recognize.
I didn't like this one. I don't remember why I don't like this one. I barely remember this one. But I do remember being annoyed at one particular thing is when he took out the audio recording. That just seemed weird to me because he was relying on something he recorded off stage to get laughs during the thing. It's
it
just seemed
Netflix
weird
specials
to me.
do that all the time. And
Bob
Burnham's special.
I don't care who does it. I just don't like it.
Why? That's such a good...
Dang.
Do you want to argue? Then come on, let's argue. No, I'm open to debate.
I think it's for the audience there. It's just first of all, they get a laugh because he knows it's doing it for a different audience, so it's funny. And then don't.
No.
Okay. Anyways, And it's a very great tactic for the people at home as well. Like it's a good like strategy to get people to laugh. Like I don't even like it.
Well, it's I don't see it as like a series of strategies to make people laugh, like stand-up comedy. I don't see it like that. I see it like people going up there and making jokes with, and the only thing that stand-up comedians have as props is a stool and a mic, and that's what it should be. Dude, I'm in the middle of doing a debate. And I just don't...
I forgot what we were talking about.
Recording something off stage to get laughs during the thing, it just seems like, when the teacher during the class... Are you serious? I hate this!
I would, but I don't have a phone.
It's not about picture.
It's really good.
Okay, continue, Paul. We will not disrespect you again.
It's like how the teacher, when the teacher doesn't want to teach, so the teacher brings in the little TV on the wheels and wheels it in the classroom and then puts on a little video for the kids to take notes off of. That's what it felt like to me.
See, I would
took that
disagree
from
with
John
that.
Mulaney.
I would disagree with that because to me the funny part about that was not the recording. It was like James Acaster's reactions during the recording and just like his presence on stage. Like I think that was more of the reason. And like I don't know, that's like because like Nick did bring up a good point about Bo Burnham. Like he writes music beforehand for the stand-up special. He doesn't make it up on stage, But the music is part of like the funny part,
Yeah, but I don't get it. I mean, this is all personal opinion.
And that's
I'm
like
not
discrediting every single intro before every single special too. We're like,
That's true.
yeah,
That's true, bro.
What every single intro?
like the intro they have like
Where they, like, walk
New
through
Kid
a
on Town.
hallway.
Yeah, but that's
And they're like, let's
That's like the best part.
Mr. Person.
Is that seriously the best part?
intros are
The first few
stupid.
seconds.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
well,
Okay,
The only
I was
intro I
watching
want to
the...
see is like them getting shot out of a cannon or something wild, like something involving
like in
midgets
Jack
and lube.
A.
If that intro has midgets and lube, then we're
You
chill.
can't say the N
I
word.
didn't say. I said midgets.
Yeah, M.
Oh, whoa!
And
Dwarf.
midget is just as bad as the N word. I
Little
heard that
person.
from John Mulaney.
Little person.
That was a good
Hey!
No.
No, we're not gonna high five on that. Okay. Continue with your conversation.
But, yeah, I just like the whole...
Oh,
like,
hold on. What's the? I just want to know what the proper terminology
Can
is.
we have like a teddy bear that each of us holds when we're talking? Like, give me that pillow,
Wait,
Nick.
this
No.
is your
Yeah,
one.
This man is
No, this
stressful.
isn't JSA. We're way better. Marco.
What's the proper terminology for that?
Dwarf.
No.
dwarf is
Height
mean.
challenged.
One of the little
Okay,
nodes.
vertically challenged.
It's terrible.
That's what my parents say.
Hold on, I'm
Short
looking it up.
idiot.
Yeah, what's
Politically
short?
correct term for midget.
Oh, Sean Dorney. Just call him Sean Dorney.
Dornmeister.
The M word, little people of America. No, it's just articles. I don't.
Little people of America.
It's like the like little Scouts.
So even if they're small
Boy
and they're in
Scouts.
Japan, they're still little people of America.
Sean Dorney is the little person of America.
Okay.
We probably are offending one person in our catalog of.
Yeah, it's Sean Dorney. Okay, Pahul?
Yeah, so where was I? Dude, you have to stop interrupting me! I don't want to sit next to you anymore! I really don't!
Do you want to trade spots?
Yeah, I'm trading
Are you joking?
Bro, come back!
This isn't centered. We should center it.
Yeah, I was because we're very loud and they're very quiet. That's why I put it over
Okay.
there.
Okay. No. Shh.
Bahul, you gotta be over
Guys,
here.
the prophet is speaking.
You gotta be over here. No, you need to move.
Why?
Because the camera's right there! I meant. There you go.
Move to the side. Okay.
There you go. That's good. Okay, you're good.
Okay,
Bless you.
Here's the thing. Why did you say
I don't know, just go.
So the thing is that, like, you said that it's his reactions to what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, then like a guy could just go up wait, can I say the word?
No! Absolutely not!
Adult entertainment.
I could just go up there and put on a movie like be a really crazy movie.
Boogie
A
Nights.
really crazy movie.
The one where the guy's dead and the Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
And I could just
Sausage party.
Or sausage party. I could just say, "Oh my god!" I could just do that for like 10 minutes, and that would be like.
Okay, but
I
it's,
mean-
it's not like it's not like you built up to a joke. It's not like the whole special was building up to a joke about policemen, and then suddenly, it's not like you made jokes on stage for 40 minutes about like a dead body, and then you showed Weekend at Bernie's. You know, that would be more acceptable.
We forgot the transition sound.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, and getting cool facts.
Well, there are no cool facts on this.
Oh, bet.
No.
Are you done?
I'm done. I mean, it's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. No,
But,
no.
I
that
mean,
makes
I get
sense.
what you're saying, and it was entertaining. It just I didn't like it in the stand-up kind of bubble.
That's
all.
fair. That's totally fair. Marco, what did you think about James Acaster repertoire recognized?
Okay, so personally, I went with a good feeling because he's British, and I personally, I like British humor. Like I know, I don't know. Well, basically, I watch a lot of British YouTubers. I don't know why I have a YouTube fetish.
Are you blind? Are you blind?
Oh, speak
Volume up.
I don't know. I thought you guys were just like
Dancing.
Yes, Marco, say your opinion. Yes, thank you. Okay, we're gonna do that over.
We don't have that much respect for people who are on here.
I completely understand.
Oh, the Joe Rogan Experience is labeled as a TV show on IMDb.
What the heck?
Yeah, and there's 1,485 episodes.
Hey, that'd be funny if I was a horse.
Oh no, because it's
My God.
Wow.
That's because
Wow.
he does the video thingies on YouTube, and he probably posts them on iTunes too.
Gotcha.
Well,
Makes
wait,
sense.
This is hell.
Okay. Something about James Acaster.
Okay, so like I said, I personally went in because with good feelings because he's British and I watch a lot of British. Like I appeal to the British sense of humor, the European sense of humor, right? There's a certain thing about them which personally gets to me. I don't know what it is. It's just a style of joke making that really gets to me. Personally, I was watching it. I watched like half hour of it. I laughed like once and I just really wasn't entertained. So I low-key got bored of the first one. I didn't finish it. I skipped through, read the descriptions, and I skipped all the way to the last one because I saw the description it said soccer. So I was pretty appealed by that. That's why I laughed twice. But just in general, I was not entertained.
Your entertainment was double.
It was no bueno at all.
Wow. Yeah. I wasn't expecting you guys to like it. Nick, you're
from-
my saving grace.
From the 11 minutes that I saw,
Okay.
I thought that actually he like the joke with like the knees or whatever. Everything else I didn't really particularly find very funny, but like he did a very good setup for a he came in and he did something unusual and he left you wondering about that for the entire 11 minutes. And then he finally delivered a joke and it landed, and I thought it was funny. So I think he's very good at kind of catching the audience off guard with something that they were confused about from the beginning, at least. I don't know. I thought that was pretty good. Otherwise, every other joke didn't really land for me. Like he did the same thing where you tell a story, you make an example out of it, and you try to see if it sticks. And with that, it just never does for me because it's just so overdone, and I've been so exposed to it my entire life. Your shirt kind of looks like audio waves. It's kind of cool. Anyways,
What about my shirt?
it's a head.
Panda.
Yeah.
I see a hand. Yeah.
Panda.
I saw a flower.
Panda.
You're the flower, Marco.
Okay. Anyways, so I thought
No. Can't be.
yeah, colleges would be like.
Our Romanian relatives.
yeah.
might
Colleges
see
is
this.
like,
What's in my neck? My neck hair?
It's the hair.
Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna. I thought it was decent. I thought it's my second favorite out of all of them.
Jeff.
Oh, I have something.
I have something to say. I called it first. I said Jeff to hit my spot.
That's like this.
I think it's the third episode. There's my favorite joke out of all four of them. There's a joke that he has about I think it's buying honey from a supermarket. And he goes on for 20 minutes, but I thought it was hilarious the whole way through.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I had to say.
What I want to say, Nick, is that how you said off guard thing, how comedians bring up a topic and then they bring it back again after a while. I really like.
Yeah,
when they
I
do
love that. I love when
I
comedians
really
do
like
that.
when they do that.
And I think
Like
Acaster does
callbacks.
that pretty
Oh,
well.
it's cool. It creates like a sort
I
of
think
inside
Acaster
joke
does
with
that.
the
Yeah,
audience.
Acaster does that very well. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Honestly,
That was
I saw Dave Chappelle do a couple of those.
the
Yeah.
reason that I chose Recognize over the other ones is because I thought Recognize had like a really good ending. Which, were you the only one who saw the ending?
I forgot the ending.
Because the ending got like really personal
What was-
with him.
Oh,
It became about his relationship.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really cool. So anyway, let's give our scores for James Acaster Repertoire Recognized. Unless anyone else has anything to say.
I'm cool.
You're chilling.
It's lit.
Okay. Let's see. I talked first, right? Okay.
True that.
I will give this one a 9 out of 10.
Oh wow.
1100.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give a 6.5 out of 10.
Dope.
Nick, this one has a fun trivia fact. All 4 shows were filmed back to back with Acaster leaving the stage to change clothes and redress the stage between
Really?
sets.
Like,
That's
for
really
real?
impressive.
Yeah, it is really impressive. Okay, how do you do... It's 3.5 hours long. That was 3.5 hours of stand-up comedy, like,
I feel bad for the
nonstop.
audience. I mean, no
Yeah.
offense. Like,
No, I'm sure they
like,
changed the audience
Like,
during
they
it.
changed the audience.
I'm sure they did.
Are you sure about that? Yeah, get out. He's got to change, and then we're gonna put a new one in. Like,
Yeah.
It makes sense.
That's what happens
Yeah.
with...
With Jimmy Kimmel, you know, he gets a new.
Oh, yeah,
he
it's
does a new
like-
thing, and then they bring the audience.
You don't think
in.
they record Jimmy Kimmel, like, brand new every night? Wait, crap. Jimmy Kimmel's live. They don't think they do the Conan O'Brien show new every night.
Who's that?
Conan
Conan
O'Brien.
What the hell? Conan O'Brien.
Hey,
he's a
leave
god.
that.
Oh,
He's the best
Did you
stand-up
guys
dude or
see?
whatever.
HBO Max has a new late night talk show with
Elmo.
Elmo. It's called the Not Too
Oh,
Late
yeah.
Show with Elmo.
what does he talk about?
I don't know, but Lil Nas X is
Really
on one of
bad.
them.
Lil Nas X. Oh,
Eva's
I'm
really crazy
watching.
about that show.
What?
Eva's really crazy about it.
Oh, is she?
Nas
Yeah.
X like a pedo.
Okay.
I mean,
You're gonna have so much editing to do, Nick.
Well, no. Well, we can. Well, it's bad. None of us on the podcast condone the actions of pedophiles. We're good now.
But if it was Lil Nas X,
I mean, he's a really good rapper. Come on. Michael Jackson didn't do anything.
I love
Anyways.
Panini, Mr. Nas.
Yo, Pahul.
Yes.
Should we do Dave Chappelle or John Mulaney next?
Dave
John
Chappelle, 'cause-
Mulaney.
John Mulaney. All right.
Screw you.
We just need distance from the controversial ones because I think John Mulaney and James Acaster are pretty different.
Okay.
So let's give a plot synopsis for John Mulaney.
John Mulaney goes up there and he's
John
like, "Hey, I'm the
Mulaney
new kid on the
new in
block.
town."
What can I say?" That's all that happens.
Thank you, Nick. That was really a good one. Like, really.
I made myself laugh though. You know.
You know, that's all we can have
That's all
in
you
this
need,
world.
bro. That's all you
Dude,
need.
that's all I need. It's not so small.
What?
I was saying hi to the microphone.
You said hi to the microphone?
Yeah.
It's not loading. Okay, here we go.
It's called a snowball.
John Mulaney, new in town.
Why say hi to a microphone?
What?
Dude, maybe
AI is going up, man.
Yeah, you don't know if like years from now microphones will have their own conscience.
This is the dumbest.
All right, stand-up comedian John Mulaney tackles such red-hot topics as quickstand, Motown singers, and an elderly man he once met in the bathroom.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Are you
Wait, I
serious?
remember that one.
Are you serious?
I remember
Okay.
that one.
Okay.
Just like that. Usually.
I was like the title of the thing.
What?
the title, New in Town.
Yeah.
It came from the Bathroom Experience, didn't it?
Yeah, I did. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember he said that,
Anyways,
but I don't remember what.
Pahul, you're starting this one off.
Okay. I thought okay, about John Mulaney, like John Mulaney is
What was your point with doing that, Nick?
I don't know if that'd be funny.
I
God.
when did New in Town come out?
2012.
I think that I watched this one before.
Oh, really?
I like 2 or 3 years ago.
Before I started
During-
watching him?
Yeah, like during 8th grade or something.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember the jokes from this. And unless I had a dream somehow
John
or
Mulaney
we
was in
connected or something. But I think I watched it and I remember having fun with it, but then I forgot his name and then I didn't want to get into John Mulaney. But I like John Mulaney a lot and I think he has some very good bits in there.
Yeah.
Like the whole N-word thing. That was very entertaining. What's so bad?
No,
about
I
that?
thought you said something else at first, and then
What did I say?
The N-word. I don't know.
I thought that's what you had said at first.
M, like as in
M, as in
Mulaney,
monkey.
as in a
Oh,
monkey.
the N-word
Monkey.
thing and the N-word bit. The M-word, N-word bit was pretty good.
Move on from the M word.
Say it, Paul.
And there was
Say the
another...
N-word on the film.
I'm not gonna say... I'm done with that line.
Say it.
Dwarf. Whoa.
Okay. Keep on going.
I can't believe that because people are gonna think you actually said it.
I just med.
And there was another good bit in there I remember, but you were talking about it, like you listed
Motown
it.
singers?
No.
What was the other one that was listed?
Not the old
Quicksand.
guy. Yeah, Quicksand was good.
Yeah, Quicksand
I like
was
Quicksand
good.
a lot. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And John Mulaney's that kind of guy, he's always smiling and stuff, and he's like a little kid. And even if I don't laugh at him, I'm just happy, It's just happy that...
Yeah,
I think someone has a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
How does he remind you of a little kid?
Well, you just say...
Yeah, he talks about it. He looks like a little kid on stage.
He's hairless.
He has hair.
Like on the top of his head. True that.
And he like walks around like this, and he's like wearing suits that are
His
big for
voice
him,
too. It's like, I'm John Mulaney.
Yeah, exactly. So he's
Yeah.
like a little kid, It's like watching a little kid talk, and it's fun.
Is that all you had to say?
That's all I had to say.
Okay.
Pass.
Wow. These episodes exhaust you, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's why I bring notes, but I can't anymore.
No. You need to learn how to do this without notes. Okay, we're going in the order we were originally sitting in. So, Marco, you get to go do the John Mulaney dude next.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like with the British guy, I went in with extremely high hopes because, like I said, I do watch SNL occasionally, and I did like some of his appearances on that show, but I was extremely disappointed, like super disappointed.
Oh, we'll never do that again.
Guys,
No. Okay, Marco. Okay.
Anyways, okay, we're good. Okay, so basically, I don't know if I was in a good mood that night. It put me in a bad mood. It was that bad. Like,
Wow.
I get it. I watched 20 minutes of it, and I tried to make it through for the Film Studies Club effort because I was dedicated. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this entire thing. I don't care how bad it is. No, I shut it off. And I continued to watch Blacklist. It was terrible. I'm sorry. I don't ever want to watch anything like that again. I laughed. I didn't laugh at all. Like, at all. I don't know what it was about his jokes. I just couldn't laugh at them. Like, it wasn't offensive or anything. It just wasn't funny to me. I don't know what it was.
just because he wasn't talking about soccer.
Deep stuff. Yeah, it just wasn't. Neymar, ha ha ha. It was something like that.
Anyways,
Nick Turner.
my thoughts. Listen, I hear so many good things about John Mulaney from all my friends. Like
Me. Me.
Robert. Just say Rob.
Dorney.
Say his name.
I'm trying to think. Like,
Oh, we've never had
Like Robert.
Dorney on the podcast, so he said his name earlier.
Yeah, you guys should get
that's
him on.
fine.
Sean
I
Dorney.
watched
He
it.
lives
Dean
at
Shorney. Dean Sorney.
What's that for?
I don't know.
He just shot himself on the live cam.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
okay.
man, we're here for you.
Anyways, so and the more I watch of John Mulaney, the more I dislike his style of comedy. Like, I can't get into it. Again, I've said this so many times, but he is just a perfect example of, here's a story, it's something funny that happened, I'm going to play it up and try to make an example out of it and tell it in a style that will make you laugh and try to make a joke out of it. And
Isn't that all stand-up comedy?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the Bo Burnham
No, never.
show? Okay. Anyways,
You realize that's what, like, stand-up comedy is, right? Bo Burnham didn't really do stand-up comedy. He did an off-brand thing that was...
no, that's stand-up
Barely
comedy.
labeled-
He's standing up and doing a show for people. You can't just say stand-up comedy is telling stories.
But a lot
That's
of
not
it,
true.
a lot of it was singing. Like, a lot of it was him singing, and then he'd do it little
That were
anecdotes.
comedic.
Hey!
What's up, bro?
It's literally...
No, it's like what's that guy's name? What's that guy's name? Parodies. He has parodies.
Jack's films?
No, the guy who
Jeff
sings
Dunham.
and he has parodies.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al, it's like that concert.
No,
It's like his
yeah,
concert.
literally, it's like a concert. The Bo
I will say it right here. The Bo Burnham specials are more concert than stand-up.
So, say Bo Burnham didn't sing at all in there, but
Then it would be 10 minutes long, Nick.
no, like instead of singing, he did something else. But he didn't.
What are
tell
we
story.
talking about?
Yeah, I've never watched it. It's really entertaining, but I've never watched it.
I think
It's really fun to see you.
I think this is stand-up club. You know what we should do? We should review episodes of the Film Studies Club podcast for one of the episodes.
Oh!
That's super meta.
Like for the... What did he just say?
That's really meta.
What's meta?
Meta? You don't know meta? Meta is where it's like...
The strat.
Like breaking the fourth dimension, kind of.
Yeah, it's like metacognition is when you're thinking about the way that you think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Anyway,
It's like Inception.
so there are other ways
Yeah,
to do
I'm gonna keep on talking over Nick because I think it's hilarious. I'm sorry, Nick.
It's like
keep
Uncle
going.
Jumps in here.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say!
What did you say?
That's what I was gonna say.
No, what did he say?
It's like Uncut Gems in here.
Oh.
Okay, anyways, I feel like there are different ways, and it's been done before, believe me, to just tell stories. And it's overdone, and I don't like it, and it's the easy way out, and it's
So you
cheap.
just don't like stand-up comedy?
Not really.
Okay. Great! I'm so glad
Stand-up
we
comedy can be
established
so much more than just telling stories.
Well, okay. How else do you keep people entertained for an hour? You tell them knock-knock jokes?
Well, okay.
I would love to see that. I'm just knock. I'm calling Netflix tonight.
I'm trying to think, like, Bo Burnham, like, he.
Okay, use someone else other than Bo Burnham.
I can't think of anyone else.
Exactly. That's the point.
I don't watch a lot of stand-up comedy. Why would I be able to?
The point is stand-up comedy is is stories with jokes in them. That is what stand-up comedy is.
That's not
definitionally.
true. That is not true.
That's true.
Okay,
That's very true.
I'm gonna use
This
Bo
dude
Burnham
studied
because
I did not.
I don't watch that much stand-up comedy, but
Liar.
I'm still gonna make a point out of it. He does it by like thinking of like concepts and stuff like that. He makes a point. Not only does he make jokes, he makes actual points out of the things he does. He talks about religion and makes jokes about them. He talks about other things and makes jokes about them. Shut up! In fact, what's his face did it really well.
Joe.
No, the other person. Can you be
Joe
serious for
Bob.
2 seconds? The other person we're talking about,
the
the
age-
African American man,
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle.
No,
Yeah,
Dave
he did it
Chappelle,
quite well.
It's
That was
stories
literally
and-
all stories.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
all
true. He had
stories.
some bits in there
Okay,
that wasn't
like
stories.
what?
I can't think of the many of them.
Oh, that's surprising.
I'm gonna cry.
Here's the thing. This is like the age-old struggle between like traditionalists and modernists. Boomers versus millennials. You are a millennial, and you are a boomer.
Not a millennial.
And
I'm not a boomer.
This is
No,
a
but
terrible comparison. Like, this is terrible.
No, in this case, he would be a neoliberal, and I would be a conservative.
I would be a Nazi, and he would be a not Nazi.
That would really be the other way
Yeah, it
around.
would be the other way.
I wasn't
around.
listening. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not a Nazi, by the way. I do not condone Nazism.
We do
I,
not
however,
condone the Nazi
am-
Party of
am-
America, and
I-
if you do, you're out.
not just of America, of any country.
shoot,
We do not
I
condone
can't
Nazis.
stand to
period.
look at myself in the
Especially-
mirror every morning.
You know, never mind. It's good.
How long have we been recording? 47
47
minutes.
minutes.
Hot darn. This is usually where we
Hot
get to...
darn.
This is where we usually get to questions. Were you done, Nick?
I haven't even.
think so.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't like John Mulaney. I don't like.
Actually,
I don't
I
like him
actually
as a
needed to
comedian.
throw in that one part. I was just remembered a lot of his jokes. I don't know why it just. I feel like if he had an audience filled with like soccer moms specifically,
That soccer is back.
it would no just soccer. No, I just feel like a lot
This
of jokes
isn't
would
the
make-
Soccer Club Studies
Okay,
podcast.
Okay.
I would totally make that though.
You don't know enough about soccer.
Exactly.
The kickballs. What else do you need to know?
You don't know much about movies, either, to be
Exactly.
fair.
Make a cricket club podcast.
Timestamp. I'm gonna say that for you.
If this podcast episode comes out this year, I will be so happy because Nick is gonna have to do so much editing.
I'll try to do it today.
No, you're
That's a
spending the
challenge.
night at my
Ah,
house.
shoot.
Mic testing.
What was that for?
Okay, my turn. Marco, just go. Just go. Just go, please.
This is the worst episode.
In conclusion,
Might be the best one.
No, this is the best one.
Okay, go.
his audience, I just feel like he's just like, there's a very particular set of people that would laugh at his jokes, and those people are soccer moms and white moms and just moms in general. Like, just his jokes just do not appeal to me, or I feel like would appeal to anybody else. No offense.
You realize that's SNL, right?
Shut up.
What you just explained is SNL.
Well, to be fair, like when you watch a comedy like in real life, it's a lot funnier than when you were sitting on your couch.
Profound, bro.
Shut up! Am I wrong?
I've watched one comedian in real life.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's the only one.
I've seen 3.
I went to a Miranda Sings concert.
How much money did you pay for that?
I don't know. My dad took the entire family. My sister had a phase. Yeah, that was terrible.
We should get the whole Rusu family on a podcast episode.
You don't want that.
I want that.
Were we supposed to have your mom on on a podcast or
No,
something?
that was never.
We should
no.
have the moms do a podcast episode. Your mom, and my mom.
My mom would be screaming whenever she's on her phone for her work. She yells like as loud as possible. Not like she's yelling at the person. She just yells like naturally.
She's like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, she's like Joe Rogan.
The Joe Rogan.
She turns
of
into a tomato and
the
starts sweating
workforce.
profusely.
Can I talk about
Juice.
John Mulaney now?
I don't know.
Please? Can I talk about John Mulaney now?
Yeah, talk about the maid.
See, I told
That
you.
just it surprised me.
You can do it to me. It's fine.
You could do it to me too. It just surprised me. Oh wow, you're such a way, Marco.
Thank you.
Your family's watching.
No, they're not.
No, his family is going to be watching this.
Hi.
I doubt they'll make it to this point. They'll
I'm
probably
not-
cut off at 20 minutes and be like, "Oh,
no,
that was hilarious."
No one's gonna make it like
Marco,
5 minutes.
Wait,
No,
sorry,
Willa
damn it.
will. Willa
Willa will?
listens to every single podcast episode. All
Hey,
the
yo,
way.
Willa! Shout out to homeboy Willa! How you do, big woo?
She's definitely not watching the video.
I'm purposely switching to that camera when you do that.
No one.
Okay, I really do enjoy John Mulaney. I have seen he has 3 specials on Netflix. I probably watched each of them like upwards of 5 times at least. Way to go, Nick. I was gonna say 50, but that's just so factually inaccurate. I love his way of comedy. I think here's the thing. James A. Caster makes me laugh. John Mulaney doesn't make me laugh. John Mulaney's really entertaining though. I think the way he moves across the stage, his energy, everything that he brings is super entertaining, and I think his stories are just so great. Like, is this the one where he tells the story about Mick Jagger? We always have a silent part during the episode, and I love it so much.
No, I think that's the other one.
The
that I
Comeback
can't
Kid?
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really do enjoy. What are the good gigs in this one? Because I feel like I know all of his like good ones, but I don't remember which.
Quicksand.
is
I
which.
don't know.
Yeah, no, we
Sixth
already.
was good. Edward was good.
Every time you say that, Nick is gonna have to edit that out.
Why?
Oh, I thought you just said the N-word. And Nick is gonna... Oh, he said Nick is gonna. Okay, I thought he just said...
Oh.
Okay, we're chilling. Let's just skip...
We really just
We
should.
aren't racist.
Yeah,
I promise.
you shaved your head and look like a neo-Nazi now, but you're not racist. It's okay.
I think the official term is skinhead.
Guys, I don't want to have to.
You're gonna have to edit this, Nick, like it or not.
I'm not getting paid.
I can't. I feel like you right now, Paul. I'm brain dead. I can't think of much to say about John
Brain
Mulaney.
dead.
I don't know. He's an entertaining dude. He tells good stories. I could watch his specials like 50 times and not get bored of them. All right, let's do scores. Who started this one out?
Me?
I think Pahul did. Pahul, score.
1350.
That's 3 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Last
I moved
three.
my James A. Caster up to 9.5. Okay, now we're on to the last one.
Very different scores.
Dave
Good observation.
My personal favorite of the bunch.
Okay, well, if you're so big on it, Nick, why don't you say the plot synopsis?
Go, Nick.
Plot
go.
synopsis first.
So this black guy goes on stage, just says a bunch of racist stuff. That's basically all that happens.
It's not all racist. Some of it is.
A lot of it.
Edgy. I'm sorry.
Okay, Nick, you were so enthusiastic you couldn't shut up. Now can you talk about it?
Wait, like the plot synopsis?
No, talk about this comedy special.
So, I thought, okay, like, Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle have one thing in common with their specials. is that they're very offensive in it.
Yeah,
and
Stop
said like
talking.
50 times.
So John Mulaney, New in Town. Here's one cool trivia about it. John says that an Ocean's 11 type movie starring only women would never work because the women would not would focus on gossiping about one another instead of the heist. Ocean's 8, a movie with that exact same concept and part of the Ocean's franchise, came out in 2018.
I was thinking
noticed
about that.
that.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about that when he said that bit.
Me too.
Yeah.
I bet he feels bad about that now.
Douchebag.
Okay, now you can go, Nick.
They both have one thing in common is that they're very offensive. The thing that Dave Chappelle does differently with Joe Rogan is, first of all, he's more offensive. And if you're going to be offensive, and Robert, you look like a slug. An ugly slug at that. You have so much slugness. Okay, anyways. So, if you're going to be offensive, if you're going to jump the gun on a comedy special, then you might as well be very offensive, but also you have to be offensive with a point. You have to be offensive and make it funny. You can't just be offensive for the sake of being offensive. You're gonna hear that a lot from 12-year-olds who think edgy equals funny. Edgy does not equal funny.
Yeah.
Edgy does not equal funny. What is funny is when you make the edginess have a point and actually have a punchline. Joe Rogan just says, blah, 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 racist stuff, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But Dave Chappelle, he makes a remark that is very, something that you should not say. But he has a point to make with it at every single time he makes an offensive joke. And they always land. And I just think that, I don't know, they landed with me. I don't know, what can I say? I like offensive humor and,
I gotta say,
that's what
I
they say.
agree with you. Like, I completely agree with you.
It's we're going this way this time.
Oh,
No, okay, so here's the thing. Marco was supposed to start this one off, then you.
It doesn't matter!
Yes, it does. Without order, we fall into
We
anarchy.
haven't had order in this
That's true.
podcast.
Yeah, not on this episode. Marco.
So, I really liked his energy a lot. I don't know, let's put it this way. He wasn't exactly energetic, but just the way he moved around the stage and stuff, it was just, really, slow. And, the fact that he could, tell these jokes and take these super long pauses and still have the audience's attention just shows just how, just enticing. And did I use that word right? Enticing?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Good job, Marco.
Mr. Jordan! So...
What if Mr. Jordan listened to this podcast?
I'll send it to him through email or whatever.
We have 7 downloads per podcast on average.
Wow.
Dang!
2 of those.
He's kind of
are
like
me.
that really offensive uncle you see at Thanksgiving. He just says a
Mr.
bunch.
Jordan?
No, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, what if Mr. Jordan was like that? We're saying his name on this, whatever.
No, that's Mr. Jordan. We're not
No,
saying
it's
his first
Mr.
name.
Morden.
Wasn't cool. No.
No, it would be Junior. Jordan.
Oh yeah, it would be. I don't know why I'm agreeing with you. I don't like it.
Can you talk, bro?
Oh, wait. I thought I said my part.
You said a minute
Oh.
and or less. I'm trying to look up this fact to see if it's factually accurate.
Well, so
You're
basically...
gonna watch it?
No.
Not only were his jokes, I really enjoyed his jokes. In fact, that's probably one of the stand-ups I would go back and rewatch because it was that entertaining. But, I just, one thing, I don't know why I found it so funny, but, I love how he say these, super offensive jokes, and then he'd do this thing where he'd do that, sneaky run backstage or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that was really
I really enjoyed that. But, yeah, just all around, that was a really good stand-up.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. Okay, I'll let this load and see if I can.
Actually,
find
hold up.
out if
Another
this
thing I have to
fact is
put in there. I also loved how he talked
Ooh.
about Kevin Hart and stuff. He was talking about other stand-up comedians and the stuff they have to go through, which he didn't talk about it long, but that was just something kind of interesting, which I found about it.
Yeah, he made a lot of profound points with a lot of issues in our society.
true. You're like a myelin sheath
What does that mean?
up top.
I don't know what that means.
It's a fatty
AP
layer
bio,
around
bro.
the fatty
What?
layer around the
AP
cell.
bio.
Well, what did he say?
Yo, it's an AP
He's a
site
myelin
too.
sheath.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Miss Fleming.
Don't shout her.
Yeah, I don't think she watches.
I saw her
this.
today at when we dropped off stuff.
Ian and I saw.
Sound like drugs.
We saw Mr. Stack.
What?
You look like a chipmunk. You're like.
so
Can I not
pretty.
smile?
You're so pretty.
Shut up! I'm not sitting next to you.
I'm sitting next to you, Marco.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Nick, you look very unflattering for the camera. Anyways,
Yeah.
Doesn't he always?
I think.
Sorry, that was so easy.
Yeah, that was incredibly mean. Like, seriously, Paul. Ease the brakes,
This
buddy.
looks like a triangle, like in the.
No, not ease the brakes. Press on the brakes, because if I ease the brakes, then I keep going, and then that means
Ease the pedal, bro.
Use the pedal, yeah.
You don't know which pedal I was talking about.
True.
Oh, loophole, like in the.
What are we even talking
Like
about?
in the James
Dave
A.
Chappelle.
Castro-
Yeah, thanks for explaining the joke.
Okay, so Dave Chappelle.
Must not know.
I've only seen one of his other specials, which was the one he did in 2000 called Killing Them Softly. And I thought that one was really good, but you can tell, like, as Dave Chappelle has aged, his comedy has gotten, like, more focused and more refined. And the way, it's all in, like, the pauses and the slight smiles that he gives the audience when he tells the
Exactly.
jokes.
His
That just
charisma.
make it so good. Like, I really don't know how he can do it, but he'll say something, and then he'll give the audience a certain look, and you're like, whoa, bro. That's kind of cool. I think he's a really entertaining guy. His onstage presence is probably the best out of all of them. At a certain point, though, I got bored during his special because it was all offensive the entire time. And after a while, I just got bored. Like, I thought, I feel like I'm hearing... his smugness with every single joke got repetitive to me, and it felt like he was saying a lot of the same things. He wasn't saying the same things, but it felt like it because he was saying it in the same way, which is like a problem for a lot of comedians, but I especially found it with this special. Like, towards the end of it, which I actually took a break, and I watched like the last 20 minutes before I went to bed. Even then, I still felt kind of bored, and I just kind of was like waiting for it to be over. But I thought the journey along the way was very entertaining.
We hit an hour, boys.
Pahul.
Okay. What I like about Dave Chappelle is that... What I like about Dave Chappelle...
No, I did this. This means go closer to the microphone, you idiot.
Why do I have to do that if I can just speak loudly?
Well, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I am right. Yeah. So the thing I like about Dave Chappelle is that he is a very good storyteller.
No, it's okay. Take it.
Okay, so Dave Chappelle, from what I understand, is he took he was on a what's the Comedy Central show, and then he took a break for like
Chappelle's show, right?
yeah, the Chappelle show, and then he took a break for like a lot of years, like 7 years or something.
Raise a kid.
Yeah, and he still comes back, and he's good as ever, which is I think it's very, very interesting, and I think he's just a really good comedian, and I feel like he's the kind of comedian that's going to be remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do I have to say? Yeah, I just think like
No one else sees what we're doing.
Yeah, they have the same shoes, guys.
Oh, okay.
They have the
Damn,
same-
Daniel.
It's really cool. They have the same shoes. It was worth interrupting the podcast. Come on, Pahul.
yeah, so he can tell stories and he makes them interesting, and yeah, he's offensive, but he makes it funny, so props to him. Yay.
You can tell he doesn't care what other people think
Yeah,
about
he
him.
really
for
doesn't,
sure.
and I think it's because of the whole. Yeah, he just left to South Africa or whatever, and he comes back and he does these stand-up. He does these stand-up acts. Like he literally just gets a box. He gets on the box in a park and he does stand-up to like whoever comes by.
I feel like out of all of the, like, even James A. Caster, even though he was in a smaller room, it still felt like he was talking to a crowd, and Dave Chappelle felt like he was talking to you. You know?
Exactly.
It was
That's a good
cool.
analysis.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Nick. I really like that you said that about my analysis.
I think that the guy leaving during the Dave Chappelle thing, I don't think it was staged. I think it was like he actually was going to leave, and I think that was pretty. He can think on his feet, and I like
Exactly.
Can I share a trivia fact now?
that. Sure.
I think this one's actually really interesting. If you let the end credits run uninterrupted on Netflix, a secret, unsearchable Dave Chappelle special called Epilogue: The Punchline will play automatically. Right?
Wait.
Isn't that wild?
What?
Wait, what?
If you just let the end credits run all the way to the end, like a new special will start.
Wait, we should watch that.
That's
Yeah,
not
no, that's
what?
what I tried to do, but it's not loading.
Oh.
It's not playing.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, let's give scores. So, Marco, you go first.
9 out of 10.
Then it's Nick.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Then
out of
it's
10.
me. 8 out of 10. Then it's Chabra boy.
1500.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
All right. So now we go into that part of the episode where we talk about the mobile game.
Oh god.
Dude.
I deleted the mobile game before it came here. I think.
So, Pahul, why don't you
I'll play
describe
that right now as well.
why don't you describe the plot synopsis of this mobile game?
Well, you're a kid that goes to school, right? And you're down on your luck. Maybe the parents at home are fighting. Divorce is getting thrown around. That's the word.
Okay.
And you don't get to study because everyone's shouting. So what's the thing you do when there's tests? When there's a test at school, you cheat, and that's the first level. And then what's the second level, guys?
Bus standing on the
Yeah.
bus.
Wait, what?
You tap put the
Oh
kids
yeah,
on
and
the
then
bus.
the next problem that comes in the school system is that because of inadequate funding, you have to crowd kids into limited amounts of buses, and so
The way
your
you're
challenge
describing
is
this
to-
is just no.
is to-
It's like an A24 film.
It's A24, Nick. Please
Sorry.
say A24.
Oh my god, you have everything wrong to say with everything I say.
Yeah, but it's like how you make fun of me. You make fun of me so much, Nick. Screw
No,
you.
we just
Okay.
laugh at you based off of what you do. Everyone just stare at Pahul until you start laughing.
Screw you. Like, genuinely screw you.
This has no racial
Motivation.
Anything.
Motivation.
Yeah. Racial motivation.
Yeah. And
He's
then,
Indian, by the way.
and then you have a third. Oh my god. What's the third thing? Like, there's multiple
Is that a
things that you
bandage
have to do.
There, you have to clear off a whiteboard.
You have to put the locker together.
Yeah, well,
Hey, what's the point of that game?
Okay,
Yeah,
how
it's
about we just
literally
get into the
stupid.
game now?
Well,
Well, you were the one that chose it, right?
Yes, I.
Okay, so Marco, what?
Not cool.
Explain your feeling on this game.
Okay, at first I was playing, I'm like, oh, it's low-key satisfying, cheating on people's tests or whatever. It's not that, it's just I like the vibrations and the phone and whatever. And I was like, okay, it's satisfying. Then I get an ad. Ad lasts 30 seconds. I don't know how to skip through it. I get to the second level. I do that. I get another ad, but this time it's a minute. The amount of ads, I don't know if it was supposed to be like a satisfying game. Like, it's just like you fitting in all is just supposed to feel satisfying. It can't be satisfying with the amount of advertisements in between each level. And I don't know if I'm like stupid or something, but I got stuck on level 5 and deleted the app.
You forgot about jump rope, Pahul.
Oh yeah, so you're a kid,
Anyway, I just don't see the point of the app.
Oh, paper toss too.
Oh my god!
Paper, so you're a kid again, and you have a bunch of paper, and you have. Oh, I
could
can't
just do that
spin
right
this,
now.
I can't spin this. What?
I could just do that right. I could get paper and throw it in a
Well,
trash
no, but it's
can,
very
so-
wasteful, Marco. You want to save the
You
environment.
want to kill the
right?
environment, bro?
Yeah.
The Film Studies Club podcast stands with the environment.
Yeah. Save Mother Nature.
No.
Okay, Nick, why don't you give your thoughts on the game? Wow, that was violent.
There we go. Can you talk now?
Film Studies
Yeah,
Club endorses
slap
domestic
you
abuse.
No, no, we do not.
Ouchie, wouchie, I need a bandage. Okay, anyways. So, I think that this game is revolutionary. And here's why. It has made a new record for the amount of ads I've seen in a game, period. And
You could have cheated again.
God. So Robert's playing the video game right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remind just how god awful it is.
Fun fact: this game is rated M for mature. Anyways, and I used it as a like kind of how to cheat on my SAT. Just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
It's not a joke.
I haven't even taken the SAT.
Yeah, you probably won't get
Have
a
you
chance
signed
to.
up for it?
No, I was going to like in 2 days.
Oh.
Aren't
There's
SAT
not a new
requirements
one
waived?
for a while though.
Aren't
No,
SAT
but
there is.
requirements
they
waived?
sent one to everyone who's not taken an SAT yet, who's a senior or going to be a senior. And no, there's no.
There's like tons of
They're
opportunities.
sending
there's
one
no
in the
fine.
mail.
No, they're allowing us to register for the SAT a week before everyone
Once
else
again,
gets to.
isn't SAT requirements
Gotcha.
waived?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
waived for a lot of
for
colleges.
UCs if you're going
UC's
into
in
that.
Columbia.
Yeah, but there's no point in not taking it. Like,
I've already taken
Sorry,
it,
Nick, I
and
feel bad about it.
I don't feel a special emphasis. Like I don't
kiss
feel
your
like I need to
boo-boo.
take it again.
Well, the thing is that I don't like standardized testing.
I hate it.
I just
Down with
think
it.
that it's very infuriating. You can't judge literally every single student in America and abroad on one standardized test. I think that's just so infuriating.
Anyways,
Did you
back
mention
to school,
tag?
whatever it's called.
There's tag too. I deleted it before there was tag.
The tag was like the second thing.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
For me, it was.
It could be wrong. I don't know. Aside from that, this game is in the genre of like those games where like you have a certain amount of lives and you try to do just a bunch of like really small mini games, except you literally can't die in this. So first of all, there's no point, and also those games have like hundreds of little.
There's water behind you.
I know.
Water.
Nick, no one told you to stop. Just keep on talking.
God told me to stop. That's right on my foot. Okay,
Divine
anyways.
intervention.
Okay, anyways, and usually those games have like hundreds of mini games. Like I remember I had a SpongeBob game on the 3DS that did this exact concept. Yet this game has like 6.
Wait, what?
Like, what were they thinking?
What happened?
This is only a money grab. That's all it is, and I genuinely hate it for
I wanted to do Cartwriter again, but I couldn't.
You are so bad at your job. You probably just look at the app stores and go,
Can I
No,
put
no,
this
no,
on the
no, you know how you go to the search?
Yeah, what's your process?
You know how you go to the search thing and there's a bunch of random games
Yeah.
come up? I just click, like, I close my eyes and I click on one of them and I send it to you.
And you say this
Why?
game is fire.
What if Robert did that for the movie?
For the movies?
Yeah.
I'll go to iTunes and just tap 2
We should
random
do an
ones.
episode like that. Yeah, like a Russian roulette.
There is a random movie roulette on Letterboxd that I could use, and we could get completely randomized movies.
That sounds cool.
But not for next week. I already have the movies planned out.
You need to send them to me because I need to watch them.
They're new ones. Don't worry about it, brother. Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah, we're all getting tired.
No, I'm not tired. I'm fired up.
Hyperschool is
Wake up.
Hyperschool is the worst mobile game I have played in my entire life.
Sure about that, bro?
I am 100% certain about
I've played
that.
some worse ones.
I
There's
have
one, there's
never
a
been
train.
more bored playing
I will,
a mobile game in my entire life. This was a complete and total disaster on every single level and function. The fact, like, designing this game must have taken like an hour. They had 6 mini games that
It's
are
so
the exact same thing over and over again.
I
The
have a
bus
game idea.
the bus one is so stupid because you just hold down and then the bus explodes because there's so many kids on it.
Never happened to you.
They're packing them in like sardines without proper seating equipment. Can you imagine? Like, all of the kids are gonna die regardless of if the bus blows up or not.
Are you analyzing the technicalities of hyperschool?
I also-
What class has 6 students in it?
I also don't know why this class is called hyper school because there's nothing hyper about it. This is all just normal
Well,
school
no, it's
stuff
just like
other
one
than the
after
cheating.
another, and that's why they're called hyperschool.
That's stupid.
I
I
have a
hate this
good
game
game
with
for next
everything in me.
I have such a
There's
good
so
game.
many ads. I've seen this game advertised before, and it is just
thinking
a
Tetris.
complete and total disaster on every single level. I want this game. I think that this game deserves nothing but hate.
Oh, my little sister also said it was cool. Like, in quotes, it's just cool. But, like, how the way Eric Cartman would say cool.
I need
don't know what
I
Eric
need to
Cartman is.
empty the poo-poo bucket.
Wow.
Wait,
Here, let's
you
just-
have to poop again?
Let's.
No, I can wait.
You
Why
should
don't
see
you
Ian.
poop on podcast?
Oh my god, that
Well,
guy.
to be fair, he has like quinoa and stuff, you know.
Quinoa?
Quinoa.
No.
Get back in your chair. Why do you?
My stomach hurts, and this feels better. Let's rank this game. I'm gonna give it a 0 out of 10. This is the worst thing I've ever experienced.
1 out of 10.
I can barely hear that.
Nick,
1 out of 10.
There you go. There
Nick?
you go. I'm gonna give it 2 pi over b out of 10.
I'm gonna give it. Didn't get an SAT score because forgot about the SAT.
Ooh, that's like the worst.
1600. Yeah, that's the worst.
That's
one.
like a 0 almost.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that is a
a
zero.
wow. Okay, Nick, go empty your poop bucket.
No, I'm fine.
No,
Because
it's good.
We
Come
have
on.
questions for Marco Rusu from the
You gotta
Instagram.
hold it in.
So Marco,
No, I
these
don't.
questions should be very interesting to answer on this podcast. This PG podcast. The first one comes from Evan Sanch
Yvonne Sanchez.
Yvonne Sanchez, who says, Marco, are you on the spectrum?
Which one?
Yeah,
Marco.
I haven't been
No,
a
which spectrum?
Like the
Oh.
electromagnetic spectrum.
Oh yeah, hold up. He doesn't specify
I
which
think
spectrum.
It's
the
autism.
spectrum.
He's ultraviolet.
Could be, never mind.
I'm ultraviolet. You know, I haven't been officially diagnosed yet, but I wouldn't be surprised.
No! Oh, Marco! Pens I'm asks Marco, how big is it?
Average Eastern European size, whatever that is.
That's
How big
really
is
not-
what?
You know what?
Your brain.
Average.
Did you know your brain is the size of your fist like this?
That's just not true.
That's
and
just not.
this is
that
the size of your stomach.
Yo,
Yeah,
it's
your
small.
fist is your size
Not
of your
hard to
stomach.
believe.
Look it up.
No,
Wait,
it
no,
Coots'
actually, it
brain.
makes sense. Nick, do this.
You
got the
don't think Noah
biggest
Coots
brain.
watches the podcast, right?
I don't.
Just cut that part
Definitely
out.
not.
God, that's the deja vu. I've heard that like so many.
You know, a lot of people on our YouTube thing, they're commenting, "Do you want to be friends and stuff?" That's
Yeah.
really nice.
It's not. They want to just boost their own popularity. From Ian the
I know,
Blanco
I
02, we have.
Wait,
How
we
is
should
your?
get him out here to ask.
Oh yeah.
I wonder, Ian, are you there? What? Hey, can you ask your question that you asked on the Instagram to Marco? Please use the word but instead.
And we have Ian on the podcast. Welcome, Ian.
Welcome, Ian.
Marco, how is your butt so fat? I have to know.
Okay, I'm gonna be completely serious here. I think it's from soccer. Like, no.
Oh my god.
No, listen. The way I play is that I play defense, right? I'm very defensive. When I go in for tackles, I go in like this. So I feel like over time my butt has just accumulated like fat to protect myself.
I see.
It's an evolutionary thing.
Exactly.
And that was Ian. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian the Blanco too.
Take the dog.
Oh God.
All right. This next one comes from longtime podcast fan Wild Mustang Will. And he says, Marco, why are you such a silly, off-the-wall guy? I think comedians like Louis C.K. have a lot to learn from your oddball sense of humor.
Will Cooper, shut up. That's it. That's just all I have
Wow.
to say for Will Cooper.
And the final one comes from Marco.Rusu. And it says, Marco, how are you so sexy?
No clue. I couldn't answer that if I tried.
What's the time at, Nick?
An hour and 16 minutes.
Wow. Okay. I think we have time for two. We like to do random question generator and get some
5
questions. From there.
questions.
No, we're doing 2 questions this time.
Let's take questions from my patrons. And the segment's over. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks. I know.
Wait.
That was really
Okay,
funny.
I'm trying to find one. Oh, this one's good. Do you prefer to watch movies in the theater or in the comfort of your own home?
Theater.
Yeah, I prefer the theater by like miles. Like the theater is such an amazing experience and I miss it so much and I cannot wait for July 1st. I am going the first showtime possible because I love the movie theater.
I like it home.
Like at home.
Oh my God.
No, just the
The movie
that makes
theater,
sense.
I think
the
it's
movie theater is
overpriced.
just such. It's overpriced, but it's such a wonderful experience
Not
to just
really.
be sitting in that environment with the smell of popcorn and obesity around you,
Yeah.
as people shove garbage into their mouth and watch garbage on the screen, and yet they're so happy, and it's the best hours of their stupid
Whoa,
little
that's a big
lives is stuck in a dark room with people they don't know, watching people on screen who they'll never meet, who are so much more successful than
true.
them.
I think I'm low-key traumatized from a movie theater because I remember my grandma used to tell me a story about some movie theater shooter. I don't even know.
Wow.
Well, there's been some movies.
Oh, this one is kind of Miss Marty inspired. What's some small stuff you do? What small stuff do you always sweat?
Oh my God.
Oh, I vaguely remember.
Yeah. I think I always sweat whenever my ear hurts, even a little bit. I start sweat. I sweat.
Like literal sweating or like...
No,
That.
no.
Getting
I
worried.
sweat at everything. Like, can you see the pit stains here?
Oh my
No,
God.
yeah, kind of. It's nice.
I sweat a lot from my hands.
I sweat all over my body, like
I
at
don't
everything. I sweat to like temperature
pants.
changes.
Hands.
Like if I go from warm to cold, it's suddenly I'm sweating like crazy. But that we weren't talking about actual sweat. We're talking about stuff that you like freak out over. And I always freak out over like my ear hurting. Like right now, it hurts for some reason. It's making me upset. What about you, Pahul?
Well, a lot of stuff, but mostly about my body. So like when I pee and I haven't had water in a while, it hurts a little bit, and I'm kind of scared that I have cancer or something. I just have like a tendency to like overblow.
This ends in EAC.
No,
I forget the word.
I'm not gonna diagnose myself with something like that. I'm just saying that I'm very worried, and I don't think that's a good thing, but I still do it because I can't help it.
What about you?
I sweat a lot, or I obsess.
That's
a lot.
cool. Marco, how about
I obsess a lot over missed/wasted opportunities.
That's something
Google
everybody
stand-up
sweats. Everybody sweats that. You're talking small stuff. What's tiny, insignificant stuff that you sweat?
Sometimes it hurts when I poop.
That's awesome.
That's something I
Dude,
sweat.
I can't think.
That's because you're brain dead. Marco?
Okay.
I sweat a lot during video games. I don't know why. It's
Me too!
ridiculous. It's really
Marco,
bad.
we-
Me too.
Marco.
Especially during Kart Rider.
Marco, I bought
Siege.
Rainbow Six Siege a month and a half ago and I have not played it once.
Why?
Well, to be fair, you got a Nintendo.
I got a Switch.
It's probably because it's a bad game, but you know.
I haven't. Well,
You suck.
I would like to play it with you, Marco. Is
Do
what
you have
I'm
an
saying.
Xbox?
Yeah, I do.
We can do that.
Let's do it, Marco.
I'm down.
He's really good at first-person
Shit.
shooters. He's immaculate. His aim is crazy.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want to do one more, or should we?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah, I'm down.
You're chilling. You're vibing.
Bucking.
All right, let's do
Should taxpayers have the option to explicitly say what they don't want their tax dollars spent on?
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's like
I say
democratic
yeah.
that way.
I say yeah. I mean,
Wait, as
I
in
think-
voting or like individually we get to say no, I don't want to give taxes to them.
no. It's not about not giving taxes. It's about like people,
Also,
Choosing
have
where
like
they
a
go.
checklist.
people have
and
a
then you can
voice in
check
what they want to
do.
something like that. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
It's just like you want
I'm
to
trying
go
to
roads
think.
or
Okay, it sounds like it's. I feel like it's one of those ideas that it sounds good on paper, but I'm trying to think of a real life application and how bad it could go.
You mean like my entire political ideology?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just trying to think of the other.
I feel like this would create like a lot of loopholes for people to get out of
Yeah.
like taxes.
I don't know.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
already
I
a
think
ton.
it might give people like, oh, I'm not going to pay for taxes if it's not paying for.
I know what.
What?
People are not educated enough to make decisions like
That's
that.
the other thing.
Because people sometimes they're not going to be responsible enough to make the good choices. Like they're just going to see, okay, theoretically if I live next to a road that's really broken, I'll just check road every single time when I pay my taxes when there's other stuff that needs to be solved.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
So it's like people can't think on such a big scale. And I
But
think it's very
the converse problem with that is that if the government is choosing everything that taxes are spent on, that gives the government a lot of power, and they might not be really representative of the people because the government is people in power, and that's not representative. They might spend taxpayer dollars on things that affect people who are in power.
Well, here's the thing. I know that taxation it's not as good as it could be, as equal as it could be, but it is a fact that on average, the richer you are, at least when it comes to income tax, because of graduated income taxes, you pay more income taxes. So I feel like would that give more power to people who are rich and give more taxes and like a larger say in government compared to someone who's smaller because they're not paying enough?
That's not the way I read the question, because if it is that, I'm very much against that.
Yeah, because that could be
but to
it.
me, that would be the government having all the say in what taxes are paid on. That's giving people in power all the say, which I don't know if that's really the greatest idea.
I think a better idea is just elect who you want to elect who best represents you. Don't try to micromanage it. A direct democracy like that
Yeah, I agree with that.
seems risky. I mean, it works for countries like Switzerland and stuff, but I don't know about America. There's a lot of people here.
If
Lot
John
of-
Parker
lot of
were on this
opinions.
podcast would run another hour.
Yeah.
Anyways, I
On
think.
Jarker.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I said it.
Tall wise guy.
Oh wait. You mean?
Jerk.
Hold up, Marco. You didn't answer the question. What do you think?
6'3".
Personally,
180
no, because I feel like
pounds.
there's already enough
Shut
loopholes. That's it.
You mean varsity 3 times all section swimmer, CO 2021, Shasta High School, 6'3", 180 pounds, 4.2 academic
We're
GPA.
doxing him.
What?
We're doxing Pun Jarker.
What does doxing mean?
It means you're just like giving out a lot of personal information about that man.
Well, I mean, but
Oops.
if a
You
university
put it in
hears
his
this, they'd be
bio,
like,
bro.
oh man, this is a good guy. I want to write his name down. Oh,
Wait, that's in his
Jarko,
bio?
I'm gonna send him a letter.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's his bio. He has 2 different Instagrams.
Get
One-
over
He has
yourself.
one for college.
No, one is for colleges.
Oh yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing another random question. So,
That was the
Marco,
fuck.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
for
Marco.
having
It
me.
was very fun having you. In
Thanks,
fact,
Ian.
Ian, thank you for being on it very briefly. Marco, here's the thing. We never have a definitive way that our podcast ends, so I would like to leave it up to you, whatever way you want the podcast to end this time. What would you like us to do?
I want both of you guys to grab Pahul's knees.
Not happening.